Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. The New York Knicks just came out victorious up against the Charlotte Hornets at Madison Square Garden. The final score being 115-91, improving to 10-7 on the season. This was a game the New York Knicks straight up had to win, of course, in general, but also the in-season tournament, of course. With this win, the New York Knicks are heading to Las Vegas, and because of the point differential, the New York Knicks are most likely going to be in that quarterfinals when it comes to being in Las Vegas and in the in-season tournament, so that should be a lot of fun to watch. But talk about like ups and downs in this game, and most of the downs, especially coming in that third quarter, the New York Knicks faced some adversity. They definitely shot themselves in their foot, but you got to give credit to Brandon Miller for getting some buckets. There was a scare that he got injured again at the Garden, but PJ Washington was up in players' jerseys defensively. You got to give credit to him. He was hitting timely threes. So the Hornets definitely did make this an interesting basketball game. We're settling a little bit in that third quarter, but this was a very fun basketball game to watch, especially in that fourth quarter, just pouring it on. It's so crazy that the Hornets went from like cutting it to a 1-point game to us being up 26 points in the fourth quarter, and we were up 16 in the first half. Talk about an interesting, strange basketball game. No LaMelo Ball for the Charlotte Hornets, as obviously he's the best player on their basketball team, and it's just bad luck when it comes to those Ball brothers with these lower body injuries. And yeah, Julius Randle was just fantastic when it came to the aggressiveness, just like working downhill. He also had obviously times that he faded away and was able to knock down some fadeaways, hit some threes early on. I thought he settled a little bit when it came to the beginning of the third quarter, but when the Charlotte Hornets were going on that run and they were able to cut it to a 1-point game and then like cut it to three also at one point when PJ Washington knocked down a three, Terry Rozier would get a bucket, Brandon Miller, or even what's his name, off the top of my head, Mark Williams. I loved him coming out of North Carolina, gets an offensive rebound and actually was able to put it in the interior to make it a 1-point game. But Julius Randle responds with back-to-back buckets, a great finish, physical finish in transition, driving strong to the basket. I love the way he went at Miles Bridges tonight. The Knicks crowd booing Miles Bridges. We know why, but I just loved the physicality. Of course, he had some plays that he was just out of control. At one point, like I tweeted in the first half, I'm like, Julius Randle's playing good, but bad at the same time. You love the aggressiveness. You love that he showed up for both halves of basketball. Of course, it's the Hornets, but you can't take away from the mental approach of how he just went out there and was like, I'm going to go play basketball. I'm going to go kill it. I'm going to go crash the rebound, like crash on the boards. I'm going to compete defensively. I'm going to look to work downhill, shoot from mid-range, and then also shoot from three. He had some erratic shots, but he was definitely the top reason, or one of the main reasons we won this game. Bench tremendous. Mitchell Robinson tremendous. What a strange game from Jalen Brunson, by the way. He took like 5 or 6 shots. It was literally a stat line like Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and Jalen Brunson were all back at Villanova. Josh Hart used to kind of be the scorer a little bit back in Villanova. Of course, he's a jack of all trades player, but it was just like he didn't have a sexy stat line. I believe he only had 12 points or 10 points, Jalen Brunson, but he was able to distribute the basketball, which resulted in 7 assists, knocked down a couple threes. So that was really strange not seeing Jalen Brunson very aggressive, but he was able to facilitate and set guys up. And I love the ball movement when it came to that first quarter. I thought it was really good in the first half. Kind of went away a little bit in the second half, but we didn't rely just on one guy, which was encouraging. Yes, it is the Hornets, but it's encouraging that we didn't need Brunson to go off for 38 to win this basketball game. But I love the ball movement when it resulted to that Grimes three in the corner. You know, finding Mitchell Robinson for that lob. Jalen Brunson lobbed it up to Mitchell Robinson. He threw it down. Mitchell Robinson had some dunks in this game, a couple putback dunks, one ferocious dunk when it came to that fourth quarter. Just insane. Isaiah Hartenstein as well, just a ferocious player that plays with so much hunger. But Julius Randle had 20 plus points and he was able to snag 20 rebounds as well. And the last time we had a player that had 20 plus points and 20 rebounds in a basketball game was Enes Kanter. So there was tons of energy. That's one of the main things I loved about Randle. Again, we could talk about him being out of control, but I love that he just brought it and he looked like he really, really gave a shit. And that shows, like, you got to give credit to Adam Silver that these players are playing like they really give a shit about this in-season tournament, which I absolutely love, But yeah, early on in this basketball game, RJ Barrett was struggling. He did struggle from the field all night long. He finished with 16 points, but he did an excellent job getting to the free throw line. That's the very encouraging thing. I think that's a career high for him, like not maybe getting to the free throw line that many times, but making that many in a row. He was 9 for 9 from the charity stripe. He did make a three, missed some threes as well. He missed some bunnies. Hopefully he's able to execute those in next game, so then it raises the ceiling of this team. But I like the way he was getting up in Terry Rozier's jersey early on defensively. I thought Grimes did a good job on Terry Rozier as well. he's had a history of going off against the New York Knicks, if it's in the Boston Celtics uniform or Charlotte Hornets uniform. So we definitely forced him into some tough shots. In transition, when Miles Bridges was in transition, if it was Randall, RJ, it didn't matter. Miles Bridges wasn't able to finish. We were very physical with Miles Bridges, and he was not able to score efficiently, it felt like, in this basketball game. But yeah, give credit to the Charlotte Hornets. They did fight to make this scrappy at one point, but the bench was too much for the Charlotte Hornets. Plain and simple. The bench and Mitchell Robinson were terrific. Just this dude, Mitchell Robinson, untouchable. Untouchable. I don't give a shit, even though that play was funny, that Randall's been the only player of the season that he's like, you know what, post up. You say you're working on stuff, I'm throwing it to you. Mitchell Robinson, like, put it between his legs, did this spin move, and he, like, lost the ball. It was so freaking goofy. But best offensive rebounder in the league. You know, he had a couple possessions that he allowed offensive rebounds, so maybe you could, like, nitpick him when it came to some defensive rebounds, but he was fantastic. The way he was defending the interior from the first quarter to the fourth quarter throughout this basketball game, the discipline. It's amazing seeing his progression from his rookie year to now, or even his second year, third year. It was like, can he stay healthy? Like, is he ever going to be disciplined? Is he ever going to stay out of foul trouble? He can't be a starting center if he can't stay out of foul trouble, and he's done that these past few years, or past couple years. I have loved it. Like, since Tom Thibodeau's gotten here, he's been just very disciplined, but he's just swatting shots, like catching a lob, put back dunks. Just, he plays with such a high motor, brings such great defensive, like, versatility. He's so much better when it comes to his hands, coming up with these steals as well. We know what he brings on the offensive glass. I kind of wanted a live reaction to this right here, because sometimes I like doing the live reaction with you guys of, like, what the final stats were. But you take a look at it right here for Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, he had 6 points. We know he's not a big-time scorer. He was 3 for 6, 50% from the field. So he had 6 points, 10 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, 2 steals, 6 blocks. Just terrific. Just absolutely amazing when we needed him in that third and fourth. I talked about Randall working downhill. Brunson, he got it going in that third quarter as well, because I believe he only had 2 or 4 in that first half. Again, wasn't very aggressive in this basketball game, but at the end of the third quarter, he did have 10 points. Randall's definitely that top guy when it came to the first half rebound in the basketball, when it came to overall aggression. But Brunson was able to contribute with 8 points when it came to that third quarter, got to that mid-range. He worked downhill. He had this beautiful finish when it came to the fourth quarter, very beautiful crossover working down the lane. I love how he looked to get quickly involved, because, oh my gosh, I can't wait to look at his stat line. I don't know what his stat line was, but the point differential was such a big deal when it came to the in-season tournament when it comes to seeding, and we'll see if we end up in the quarterfinals. Most likely, we probably will. But I just love that Brunson was looking to get others involved, and maybe he just read Twitter. He's like, all right, people calling me a ball hog, I'm going to look to pass again. He had 8 assists last game and then 7 assists this game. True professional, but quickly, man, this dude is just, some of his points came in garbage time. Like, Tibbs left him out there when it came to just winning by a certain amount of points, but quickly was splashing threes from the parking lot. He had some crafty finishes in the inside. He played some tough defense. His overall team, when RJ had to defend a Gordon Hayward, or any switches when it came to the bench and certain rotations, Gordon Hayward was kept in check. Only 4 points for Gordon Hayward in this basketball game. So that really came down to it. RJ wasn't crazy efficient, but he got to the foul line. That's a big matchup. Gordon Hayward wasn't able to get to the foul line. He wasn't aggressive, wasn't able to knock down shots. That's why he resulted with 4 points. Even though RJ Barrett struggled, he looked to drive still and get to the foul line. Had a very nice sidestep, little Euro step in transition to have that and one. But yeah, again, hopefully RJ shoots it much better these next few games, or just the rest of the season. Would be awesome to raise the ceiling for this team. It felt like Grimes' looks kind of went away in the second half, but I thought he played very well defensively. This team just overall moved their feet so well. They just competed so hard. I know it's the Hornets, and I know it was cut to 1 at one point, but we got it back to 26. Josh Hart, season high in points for him. He had a 3 in the corner that rolled in. Brunson had he did a good job dribble penetrating, kicking it out to Josh Hart, knocking down the 3. He just looked aggressive. He looked confident with his shot. He wasn't hesitating. Remember, he was talking about his role when that article came out, and he scored the heck out of the basketball when he was there for less than 20 games with the Portland Trailblazers one season before he went on to be departed from that organization. He was he has shown that he can score the basketball. He averaged 19.9 points per game in a stretch over there in Portland, kind of an inconsistent shooter, but the physicality, like he had some big plays in the second half to really pull us ahead. I talk about Randall, I talk about Brunson like quickly, but Josh Hart had some like tough finishes in the interior. He's a physical, strong basketball player. I love the way he competes defensively, rebounds the ball. He's great. He's a great leader when it comes to the locker room. Just seems like great spirits, and it's I think this is a good win. That has to be cleaned up the way we played in that third quarter, no doubt about it, because I thought we were settling and the transition defense was not good. I thought Brandon Miller traveled on the one play, but we allowed Brandon Miller finish in transition over Jalen Brunson, and Brunson actually played some solid defense on Terry Rozier early on when he was matched up for some possessions. But yeah, we allowed some transition threes that we need to clean up. Nick Smith Jr. actually for the Charlotte Hornets came off the bench, didn't play all game. First shot from three, just splashed it, hit a couple. So shout out to him, just staying prepared. James Bouknight as well. Actually, was the first game he played for the Charlotte Hornets this season, coming off of surgery. Was one of my favorite players, actually coming out of a draft not too long ago, coming out of UConn. But the Hornets have some talent, but LaMelo Ball being out sucks. Gordon Hayward, he's starting to kind of get washed at this point, which sucks because I really liked him in Utah. Sorry if I'm talking a lot, I just love talking about basketball, and there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this New York Knicks team. But yeah, you want to just, like, if there's just some nitpicking, of course you want to see Brunson be aggressive again. If you want to be like a top tier team in the league, you're going to need Brunson to cook, and we know he's going to cook. Mitchell Robinson, fucking amazing tonight. No flaws in his game tonight. That dude was a freaking stud. Randall just crashed the glass like a beast. He competed. He was aggressive, very good. Definitely one of the top players of the game. Just awareness at times, shot selection, like you could say, just very out of control at times. But he was a very aggressive. I would rather have a very aggressive Randall that looks like he gives a shit out there on the floor than just sleepwalking, if you know what I mean. DiVincenzo, we know the way he jumps passing lanes, resulting in some buckets in transition. We started to clog those passing lanes for sure when it came to that fourth quarter. But it's crazy. The Hornets, again, cut it to 1 when it came to that third. And we just went on this crazy run, like, to close out the third and just, like, destroy the fourth quarter. Like, just absolutely murder them when it came to the fourth quarter. But DiVincenzo struggled early on. Then he ended up hitting a couple threes. But what are your thoughts on this New York Knicks win? Of course, it wasn't perfect. It got scary. You want to see more consistent ball movement as well. That's a big thing. Like, the ball movement, I really liked it early on, then it kind of went away. So you kind of want to see it be more consistent and come back. But yeah, it was very fun to watch it quickly just cook at the end. Yeah, let's look at the final stat line. So yeah, Julius Randle, he was more efficient than I thought. I guess he just had some plays that were crazy. It was probably the turnovers, 4 turnovers. But yeah, 25 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists, distributed the ball. 16 defensive rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds, big time second chance opportunities. Knocked down his free throws, 7 for 8 from the free throw line, 8 for 15. Efficient night for Julius Randle, give him credit. There are only 2 fouls, plus minus, plus 27. Mitchell Robinson, I talked about his stat line. He was terrific, 6 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, had 4 turnovers. That's interesting. The 6 blocks is ridiculous. 6 freaking blocks. Jalen Brunson, 12 points, only took 9 shots, but he's 5 for 9, still efficient. 2 for 5 from 3, hit 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Did have 3 steals. These last couple games, he's been coming up with these steals, I'm telling you. And he only had 1 turnover. That's what I love about Brunson. Just cool, calm, and collected player. Recognize one of those nights. I want to get my other guys involved. I know I can score the basketball, but let's get my teammates involved. RJ Barrett, 28 minutes. He was 3 for 13 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. Excellent from the free throw line. He missed a floater that has been going in this season that didn't fall, though. Like, I think that shot will fall. He just missed a couple bunnies. Like, he had a very nice spin move. I remember a transition that he wasn't able to get it to go. It went in and out. Yeah, missed that little bunny. He had a 3-pointer that went in and out, knocked down a 3. Not trying to make excuses for the dude. 3 for 13 isn't good, but I like how he got to the foul line and showed that aggressiveness. Had that nice and one in that fourth quarter. But yeah, RJ Barrett still capitalized with 16 points. That's a huge thing. In the past, if you would get a 3 for 13 night from RJ, he would probably finish with 8 points. But now that he's knocking out his free throws and getting there, that's encouraging. But he had 3 rebounds. He had 2 assists as well. He had 1 steal. Quentin Grimes. We need to get this dude involved more. Tonight was one of those nights, and I'm like, it's not even that he's not being really aggressive. because we got him involved early, and then it's like we went away from him. It felt like he wasn't even on the team in the second half, to be honest. He only played 19 minutes. I don't think he got hurt. I didn't see him get hurt. 6 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, knocked down a couple threes. Isaiah Hartenstein, insane putback dunk, 6 rebounds in 14 minutes. This dude's energy, I love Isaiah Hartenstein. 4 points, 2 for 3. And I do have a conspiracy I could touch base on, but Josh Hart, yes, season high for the New York Knicks when it comes to points. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 7 for 10 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. That's awesome. Dante DiVincenzo knocked down a couple threes, 6 points. Emmanuel quickly, here we go. He had 23 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Definitely in some plays that was pressing out there, but it was a lot of fun to watch when it came to the fourth quarter. This in-season tournament's been more fun than I thought. 4 for 10 from 3, 9 for 20 from the field. Slithery getting to the cup. We know his ability to shoot from mid-range now at this point of his career and shoot it from beyond the arc. Let me know down below your thoughts on this New York Knicks win, and peace out, y'all.